During her 60 Minutes interview, Kamala Harris was also asked a question that it seems like she wasn't quite ready for. And you might not be ready for the answer here. Let's take a listen.
Which foreign country do you consider to be our greatest adversary?
I think there's an obvious one in mind, which is Iran. Iran has American blood on their hands, okay? This attack on Israel, 200 ballistic missiles. What we need to do to ensure that Iran never achieves the ability to be a nuclear power, that is one of my highest priorities.
So if you have proof that Iran is building a nuclear weapon, would you take military action?
I'm not going to talk about hypotheticals at this moment.
I'm sorry, what?
What? I've been upset about this basically from the moment that I saw this, because
and this was not in the interview, it was in the overtime part.
This was, yeah, first of all, why didn't they put that in there? That's an insane thing to say. So we're talking about a regional power, non-nuclear state, maybe nuclear, that threatens that is the right answer if your name is Israel. If you're the president of the United States, look, even within a liberal framework, say Russia. Russia is a stupid answer too, but you can make a case for it, right? It's got nukes. It invaded Ukraine. All right, I still think that's not all that high priority in their idiotic worldview.
Years of being scared of them. So you
yeah, exactly. You got boomers who are worried about, oh yeah, I
Russians in the closet,
drills or whatever. Okay, so I get that. I still think it's an incredibly dumb answer, but Iran, and notice that she said it's our greatest threat. She talks about American blood on their hands. I assume that she's talking about those proxy attacks on U.S. soldiers, 3 killed in that Jordanian attack recently, and then previously the war in Iraq. But then she starts talking about Israel. Oh, hold on a second. You said our greatest adversary, not Israel's greatest adversary. I mean, that is honestly one of the most troubling answers I have ever heard from a presidential candidate, because what does that mean for your worldview of what you think adversary to the United States is? Not to Israel. I'm not voting for the president of Israel. I'm supposed to be voting for the president who's looking at our commerce. I mean, like I just said, you could make a fine case for Russia. I still think it's dumb. China's the most obvious answer. Even within that, I mean, Biden says China, right? Like, what are we doing here with Iran?
Yeah, I think she treated it as a pop quiz, didn't know the answer, and reached for one.
Oh my God!
Like, I don't think she actually believes that Iran is our biggest threat. How cool, though, would it be to have a president who said none? The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Yeah, honestly, that'd be a better answer. Again, I don't agree with that necessarily, but yeah, I could make a philosophical case, in one where America is so powerful that our own division and lack of unity is a threat to us, to global instability and to other nations. In fact, I don't not believe that, but I just think that they're, within the framework of greatest adversary. But I just have no idea how you arrive at Iran. And also notice, Ryan, she didn't even think about it. She immediately went to it. It's like, if you look back at those previous debates, and I said this on Twitter, I was like, I honestly think that is the stupidest answer to this question in several decades. During the Cold War, it was not really that difficult. The only time where it's ever been in flux is that 2012 famous debate, Romney and Obama, where Romney says Russia and Obama correctly makes fun of him. He's like, well, we don't have bayonets anymore, Mr. Romney, and all that. And Obama was right, by the way, because he said China. But, in the year of our Lord, 2024, to say Iran is so crazy. Like, again, we are not talking about a nation that in any way, like when you say greatest adversary, you are talking about global competition. You are talking about somebody who poses a genuine existential threat to the superpower. There is only one nation in the world for which that's not even 100% true, but you can make a case for it, and that's China. That's why the Russia one is so dumb, and that's why Iran, I mean, again, we're talking about shipping lanes. Okay, fine, little damage to the U.S. economy. Not even saying it would be good. I think it would be a disaster, to get into a war with Iran. But to say our greatest adversary, they're doing backflips in Beijing. They're doing backflips in Moscow over this. If you're so dumb that you think that, I can't help you.
I think the actual answer to this is that our greatest adversary is ourselves, our own military adventurism, our recklessness, and also our sanctions policy, which Jeff Stein has caused has covered so well, our sanctions policy, which is going to eventually drive the rest of the world to stop using the dollar, which is the main thing.
I think that's a fine answer, and the reason why, again, is fine is it acknowledges like superpower status, and it's like actually the only threat to us is ourselves because we're so big, we're so powerful that only our own missteps can lead us into disaster, which is true. I mean, if you look at Iraq and all, look, nobody could have damaged America more than the American invasion of Iraq. But yeah, I mean, I just ideologically, framework-wise, to talk about Iran. I mean, also, when you say our greatest adversary, at least on Russia and China, we have a limiting principle of war called nuclear weapons. Like, at the end of the day, that stops it from escalating into the worst areas. With Iran, they don't have nukes, at least not yet. And we're on the precipice of a potential Israeli strike on nuclear facilities or even oil facilities, which could lead to blowback. That actually could lead to a full-blown hot war, which would draw the United States in almost certainly. So is that what we're setting the stage here? I mean, that's the crazy part too.
The latest leaks out of Israel are that they have decided not to target the nuclear sites because they're inside of a mountain and they can't do it. We paid them off, begged them not to do it. Instead, they're going to attack the oil industry, which Iran has said it will respond by attacking Saudi, Iraq, and other oil fields throughout the Middle East and just setting the entire thing on fire. So we'll see how that goes.
Hey, if you like that video, hit the like button or leave a comment below. It really helps get the show to more people.
And if you'd like to get the full show ad-free and in your inbox every morning, you can sign up at breakingpoints.com.
That's right. Get the full show, help support the future of independent media at breakingpoints.com.